The mothers of the 3 American hikers jailed in Iran returned to the United States Saturday after seeing their imprisoned children for the first time in 10 months. Shane Bauer, 27, Laura Shourd, 31, and Josh Fattal, 27, were detained in July after straying across Iran's border during a hiking trip in northern Iraq. Their mothers arrived in Tehran last week after the Iranian government okayed their visas. On Sunday, Iran's intelligence minister said the 3 jailed Americans are spies, but suggested his country would be open to a prisoner swap for Iranians being held in U.S. custody. The U.S. told Politico such a swap is out of the question, but it's willing to provide consular access and answer any concerns Iran has about Iranians in U.S. custody. Last week, in their first public appearance since their detention, the 3 jailed hikers discussed their 10-month prison ordeal. Laura Shourd said she spends most of her days in solitude.
This gesture, a humanitarian gesture, it means everything in the world to us. I've been thinking about seeing my mother's face and seeing her smile and looking into her eyes for a really long time. Our treatment is decent. It's really difficult being alone. Shane and Josh are in the room together, but I'm alone, and that's the most difficult thing for me. But I see them twice a day, so we have good food and we have medical care, which is appreciated. And we're reading materials and television.
Shane Bauer told reporters he maintains hope for being released.
We hope that Iran can continue with humanitarian gestures like letting our mothers come by releasing us on humanitarian grounds.
And on a brighter note, Shane Bauer and Laura Shourd are now engaged to be married. Bauer proposed to Shourd in the exercise yard of Evin Prison. Josh Fattal will be the couple's best man. Well, the mothers of the 3 jailed hikers join us today in our Democracy Now! Studio. They're just back from Iran. Cindy Hickey is the mother of Shane Bauer. Nora Shourd is the mother of Laura Shourd. And Laura Fattal is the mother of Josh Fattal. And we welcome you all to Democracy Now!
Thank you, Amy.
Well, if I can say congratulations. Congratulations to the 2 of you on their engagement of Shane and Sarah.
Thank you.
Talk about your experience going to Iran. Cindy, let's begin with you.
The experience was long awaited and overwhelming. You know, landing in Tehran just was very emotional for me because I knew I was one step closer to Shane. Meeting Shane was overwhelming. You know, my main goal to go there was to fill them with hope, let them know what's happening here, and bring them home, which we didn't get to do.
Nora, can you describe seeing your children? Where were you? Did you go to the prison?
No, we weren't allowed to go to the prison. We were in a hotel in Tehran, which is, I think, close to the prison. So the kids were brought there. They did not know we were there. So when they walked in this room, I'm sorry, they were just completely shocked to see us. It was really overwhelmingly emotional for us. I mean, for hours, we didn't want to let go of these kids. We couldn't stop crying. I mean, it was like very difficult. Every time we think of the images again, this happens to us. I can speak for myself. It's very hard to forget what we went through. You know, they were overwhelmed, but what we did over the course of the day is what we set out to do, which is to tell them as much as we could about our campaign to get them released, all the things that we're doing, how multifaceted that is, and how much support they have from their friends and their family and supporters around the world. We filled them with hope. And as the day went on, they became more relaxed. They started to get it, you know, because they have no information there. They started to get about what we were actually doing and started to feel better.
Had they known Laura about all of the efforts around the world?
No, not at all. And Josh, Shane, and Sarah were thrilled to hear that Desmond Tutu has spoken out 3 times, that Noam Chomsky has spoken out twice, that Cornel West has, of course, spoken out, and numerous other 79 public intellectuals have spoken out when we had a campaign right after Thanksgiving here in the United States, and there are other individuals that have been critical in supporting them.
Now, there are others internationals who have been arrested in Iran. Can you talk about them and their periods of imprisonment?
Yes, there were British sailors who were whose boat drifted into Iranian waters in the fall 2009, and they were let go after 1 week. Danish and Dutch reporters have been detained and let go after a very, very short period of time. And then, of course, there were Belgian bikers, 3 bikers, who were detained, I believe, 3 months. But our kids are detained 10 months on Thursday. And so with that in mind, we are asking the Islamic Republic of Iran, please let them go. You can speak to them, you have spoken to them, you know their story. These were hikers that if they crossed the border into Iran, it was an accident.
I want to turn to the Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. He had this to say about the case in Good Morning America. The anchor George Stephanopoulos interviewed the Iranian president on May 4th, a day after he spoke at the UN's conference on the Nuclear Proliferation Treaty. Stephanopoulos asked the Iranian president about the jailed hikers.
3 American hikers have been in prison in Iran since last July 31st. No representation, no charges brought against them. Their parents made a direct plea to you to bring them here to the United States on your visit. Did you consider it at all?
Every country has very strict rules to control its borders. If anyone illegally entered U.S. borders, do you think the U.S. government will let them go freely? Not bother them?
They would be allowed to have representation. They would be charged.
Can anyone enter the borders illegally? Allow me. Can anybody enter the borders? No, they can't. These 3 individuals entered our borders illegally. They have confessed to that. They crossed our border. Now they're being handled by our judicial system, and the judicial system will review their crimes according to the law. We have laws. There's a due process of law that is being observed. The judicial system in Iran is independent of political influence. It's under the influence of judicial laws. But there's 3 Americans who crossed our border. First of all, why did they do that? What was
they say they got lost.
They have to tell the judge exactly why they crossed the border. How do you know they got lost? Were you there?
I told you that's what they said.
You were not.
I just have a very simple question. Will you allow them access to the outside world?
Your government is giving you news, and you accept it. You and I can't judge. It's the judge in Iran that will decide. They have to provide proof and evidence to the judge in Iran that shows that they lost their way or made a mistake.
That's the Iranian President Ahmadinejad. Laura, your response. He says they just have to tell it to the judge.
We welcome any investigation. We understand the kids have not been investigated for 6.5, 7 months. They, in the beginning of the detention, which began on July 31st, they were interrogated. I think the Iranians have more information than they'd ever want to know about Josh, Shane, and Sarah, and it is clear if they crossed the border, it was a total accident. There is no question in anyone's mind, and on our website, freethehikers.org, we detail every moment of their life, and up until the capture on July 31st, and you can see what they were doing.
We're going to go to break. When we come back, I want to ask you about your 3 children, because we talk about the hikers, but there are 3 young Americans who have very interesting and political lives, and I'd like to talk about how they came to be on the Iraq border with Iran. We're talking to Laura Fattal, the mother of Josh Fattal, Cindy Hickey, mother of Shane Bauer, and Nora Shourd, mother of Sarah Shourd. Stay with us.